Hello, it is Lord Hayward. I'm streaming some 2D4X today. I feel like I've shrunk in my... feel like I'm like smushing down here. Is my chair lower? I don't know. We're working on 2D4X. Did I already say that? I said, yeah, something. I said something. Uh, and I'm thrown off by... I was gazing lovingly at myself there in the preview of my stream. I don't know. I've been having a stuffy nose lately. It has nothing to do with anything. Anyways, what we're working on is getting this use remnants to work when there's construction for your construction goods or for your constructing of buildings. And man, this button sucks, but it does work. That is something that we did yesterday. So yesterday we finished the actual exploration, and there's just a few things we're going to knock out. I have it on a list. We got to do use remnants for construction and add raw materials at top bar. That might be a pain. Joker, how's it going? And this is just like a note. I actually went through these and deleted a bunch of these old things of like notes to myself to learn things. Because I don't know. I stopped watching tutorials, except for Joker's tutorials. But I stopped doing it regularly. So, I don't know. But yeah, well, that's what we're working on right now. We're just going to jump right in. I have it already open. I also had a note that we needed to make a method for this. I already had that method, so I deleted it. So let's see here. Use remnants. We have this thing checked now, and it should be assigned. So it should, when we check this, it should assign this construction good should now have that checked. And then when we actually do the construction, which is under county here, we have to write that code still. Got kind of a slow start for my brain here this morning. I was sitting around watching Splattercat videos, and I still am in like watch mode. My brain doesn't work as good as it used to. It's kind of a bummer. And I was actually thinking right before I stopped streaming, right before I started streaming, I don't think it's ever going to improve. I think it's just worse. My brain's going to get worse as time goes by. That's the problem with getting old. We need some nanotechnology that like you inject in yourself and you de-age to 25. You want to be older than 25. Yes. Yes to the nano machines. You don't want to be younger than 25 because your brain wasn't fully formed until you're like 25. So what are we looking for here? After day start. I got to look at how this works from last time. We just did this recently. Okay, so we broke this into quarter hours a while ago to make it better. We actually redid like the time to have ticks. So we have end of day, start of day, after day, start. Okay, so end of day comes before start of day because it's like the end of the day. Decide building county improvements. What we're looking for here is it might be this. Yeah, it checks this at the end of the day so that it's day start all equipment. Blah 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 blah. So what does this actually do? Check for the building cost. I think this was part of the reason why I didn't want to do the use remnants thing. What is this doing? This is here so the county improvement can be shown in the research panel. If is not equal to null, it goes through, if the good type is a county good or both, it checks the county amount of the resource. We don't call them resources anymore. Of the good, currently only remnants is both, and the player is taking from the county amount. Okay. Or both. If the amount is less than this, return false. else return false. Okay, so this is for the return true. If good type equals a county good, but we need to put in, how did we do this for the construction? So, or for the inputs, that's what we need to check, because we can just copy that code. Decide building county improvements, workday over for population, hero population generates resource through, generates the daily amount of work for each county improvement, converts the daily amount of work into goods and construction, possibly scavenge and research eventually. So what does this one do? What does it do? We don't want to look at build, apply work. I think this is one of the reasons also I didn't want to use the use remnants for construction, because it was kind of annoying. But here's check enough goods for, what are we on here? This is for work, so that's not going to apply. Research, build, explore, recruited. All right, this switch has a bunch of stuff on it. Build, it applies the work per person. I wonder if we can use this check enough goods. What does this do? Is this what we were just looking at? Or is this something else here? If is input good is value is greater than stockpile amount, we're passing in the county improvement. We're going through the unique input goods. Oh yeah, we had to like make a copy of it or some shit because it wasn't working right if we did it. So we had to do this unique thing. Stockpile amount equals the key type. This is for each one of these. And then if the input good is greater than the stockpile amount, has enough goods, is false. So there's not enough goods. So this is just going to go through this list and see if there's enough. So we might actually be able to do this with, how do we do this with, I guess we're doing it earlier in this decide building county improvements. Check enough county faction resource. If it's not equal to food, I wonder why we have that. Check if the county has enough food. If not, build a food building. Oh, this is county AI. Oh, okay. That is not what we need to worry about. So county AI is like what the AI uses to figure out what it wants to build, and we need to update that. But right now we're not worried about that. What we need to figure out is when this thing. So what we need to do is find out where it's like checking for county goods for the construction. So where we need to see, so here's if it's done. So it's got to be before that. Occasional needs, the population, other goods. Wow, that's slow. This is a check for occasional needs. Occasional needs are things that people like just want, and we're gonna expand on that. So like it will be, you know how like Victoria 3 has a list of like things that your population wants to eat or use. Is there enough food? Calculate work to good production. Converts the total daily amount of work into goods and construction. The possibly scavenging and research eventually. Generates resources through work, scavenging, building, and research. Generates daily amount of. So it would. So. We have to look at this again. It's got to be in here. So it's going workday over for population. It's going through each person. And so each person, and then it hits this apply work per person. Does it use in here? Is it using up? So we generate work with this check. Generate work amount with skill check, and it adds it on to the county all work. What does this thing do? So where do we use the construction goods? So the construction goods, oh wait, I think I remember. It's a one-time fee. No, I don't remember. Okay, so it's a one-time fee. You hit build, and it's charged once. So that's the problem with the use remnants. So when you build it, all of the charges are used. Or all of you're charged for everything up front for building things. While when you work at a place, there's input goods that input once every time. So we have to change how this is. So we got to figure out where that is. Okay, so I did this wrong. I forgot about this. So with construction, you're charged one time. It's put in. Let's go back and look at this because it's easier to. Whoops, not that button. This one. So the construction goods have already been charged when you hit the build button over here. When you hit this construction button, it takes the wood or the remnants and the money. Let's make sure that's right. So we have 1,500 and we have 5 remnants. So let's go over here, 1,505. So if we say yes for the garden, we now have 1,400. Yeah, so it's one. So that happens right there. So what we need to have is we need to have it so that when you click that button, it's charged. You can use remnants ahead of time. So I had this in the wrong spot from yesterday. That's what I'm breaking today, Joker, is the things I did yesterday. So what we got to do is move this, go back over to here. We need to make it so that this use remnants button appears over here. And so then we'll have to update the AI too, so the AI knows to use remnants at certain times. Okay, so this button needs to be over here, and you would check it ahead of time. But then what about when with the construct button, be there if you only had remnants? See, that's why I think this is the real reason why I think I said fuck this and we'll just have it so you have to have the actual stuff. But the problem is that we want to have it so that, yeah, remnants is going to be a main thing. Maybe we need 2 construction buttons where we have construct or construct with remnants, and it just uses remnants for everything. But what happens if you don't have enough remnants? So let's say the construction, this is a bad example. Do we have one that's a good example? We're going to have to set up one that is a good example. So, well, I guess we could use, well, no, we need 2 things. So let's say you have wood, but you don't have iron. And so you want to use iron for one thing. So what we would need to do is, as you check it, this button, or the button we can't see right here because we don't have any wood, would have to, so you would check use remnants and the button would appear. That's what we have to do. And let's actually update the Fisher shed to have iron as one of the things, so we can use that as our test. What else is going on with this Fisher shed, though? So we just have 5 wood. We'll change it to 1 wood. I'm trying to think of what we have regularly. We'll add 3 things to test this. So, Fisher's shed. I was like waiting for this thing to appear. Fisher shed. So we need construction goods. Let's change this to We're going to add 3 things. We're going to add remnants, because we need to check with if remnants it works. We'll say 10 remnants, and then what's this empty one? Then we'll add iron as another one. And we'll say 10 iron. Okay, so for the, and we'll make this 1. Well, 5's fine, actually. All right, then we'll run this again, and we'll make sure that this shows up right, even though we've tested that a bunch of times. Put my coffee. I'm out of coffee. It's finally kicking in, maybe. Construction improvements. Okay, 5, 10, 0. We need the checkbox to appear over here, and we can't build this right now because we don't have these resources, which is how it's supposed to work. So how do we get the checkboxes to appear over there? Quartermaster we might need, county improvement data we might need, county AI we don't need, research items we don't need, let's see, hallmaster we might need. We need this thing, this crazy ass thing. So we need to have it do 2 things. First thing we need is we have to get it to this county good thing to show in the correct spot, because we put it in the wrong spot. I was thinking that once again, that after you hit construction, then it takes the stuff in the morning. So every morning when it runs, but it doesn't do that. So we commented something out, actually. I don't think I deleted it. I think it's over here. Oh, I gotta check on something here. Make sure that everything is working correctly. And that it is. Perfect. And what is this? Okay. Input goods, no. But it is... There was like this right here. We need to put this back. So it should hide if it's under construction. So we wanted to do that. So that's back to how it was. And then when it generate construction good cost, check for hide remnants. What does this thing do? Oh, we're back to here. Its status would be none. What if we turn this off? What happens if we turn this off? And we rerun this. This thing is quite complicated. And everything just gets more and more complicated. It took weeks to get that thing to work, because I only worked on this 6 hours a week. This is still not appearing, though. Wonder where it appears. So that one went away. I wonder if... Yeah, we still don't see any used remnants. I just got rid of that thing, and it's not... Maybe we never needed it. Generate construction goods cost. Where is this thing running? So some of this is too convoluted. Some of it's good, some of it's too convoluted. If I remember correctly, hide everything. Okay, so everything's hidden. Progress, there's like the switch. Update construction status. In research panel is that research panel. So we're using this same thing. This thing is used there, and it's also used here, which is why it's kind of convoluted. Maybe we need to make it 2 separate things, but I'm definitely not doing that today. So if it's in research, low goods, researching, under construction. And so here's the default. Default is the status none. So when it is an impossible list. Okay, so this is what we're going to be fucking with is right here. Generate, update construction costs. Why are these two different things? Check for construction resources. Oh, that's a different, like that's a construction work cost, construction build cost. And then this is, so we go back up to, is this our default? Is this what we're just looking at? Build cost. It's interesting that this isn't in this one. It's all very confusing. Oh, you know, I was going to mention something. So yesterday there was 3 spammers that I banned from my chat. And this morning when I went in, I noticed 2 of them were deleted from Twitch, but that means one of them. So there was 2 of them that were called Emma Thompson, and they just had numbers behind their name. Only one of those was deleted from Twitch. So somehow the other one has escaped Twitch's notice, even though they have the same name except for just numbers at the end. So it's they need a whatever algorithm they're doing. They're not doing a very good job. Okay, so this one generates construction goods. This is where we just got rid of this thing. And somehow that worked without, am I missing something? Whoops, that's not what I want at all. I want this thing. So on here, we should have, something should have broke, but it didn't. Construction goods none. 1 wood, 100 remnants, which I guess we don't have any. Money and remnants. Input goods looks right. I don't notice anything wrong there. Check for hide use. I bet you they default to off, like they're turned off, so it didn't need to check for this. So the columns thing I know we don't need to do. So what we want to do, we actually set the toggle here. So on this one, what are we doing here? Where's my fucking switch again? This switch is, I thought it was at the top, but where's that switch? There's a lot going on here. This is not the switch. Yeah, so that hide everything hides the things. Generate construction good cost. Generate construction good cost. Generate construction good cost. Okay, so what we need to do, so this is used in a bunch of different spots. So what we got to do, we attach the signal to it though. I think we did that yesterday, regardless of where it is. So what we want to do though, is we want to say in here, check for hide use remnants. I just want to go to this and see exactly what this does. Should hide checkbox. So it will show this. If we got rid of this, let's say, what happens? Yeah. We know. So what happens if we get rid of that line? Because that's in the none. Has no status. I was thinking about the whole, streaming this morning when I was sipping my coffee. Just at like what makes a successful streamer. This has like been coming up, and when I watch other streamers, they talk about it occasionally, and I was thinking about it. So here's the use remnants here, and look, this doesn't have it because it is a remnant. Money, that should not have it. So that's a problem. Wood, paper, glass, those. Oh, but these are on the input goods. Okay. So we have two things. I gotta write down this money thing. Use remnants. I figure I would know how to spell remnants. Look, sometimes I put a period at the end, and sometimes I don't. Anyway, so I was thinking about like streamers, or I've heard a couple of people talking about like what makes a successful streamer, and how like there's also like people cheat, which of course is a thing. You know, like they buy viewers and stuff like that. But I think one of the things is people like to watch people freaking out. I think that's like a thing. So we got to put this back. All right. So if we do this, what are our... Oh, look, we're doing different statuses. Oh, look, we have a... Wonder why food's in there. I think we can just put money in here. For that part. But whoops, we don't want this. Yeah, so I think part of it is a lot of times it's the view. Like you got to know your audience, and I think a lot of the audience that really is attracted to, because I've watched just out of curiosity, like randomly clicked on some Twitch streamers, and the ones that seem to be popular are the people who are freaking out about stuff like just like yelling and shouting. And I actually watched, so I watch Angry Joe. You guys know that dude probably. He's like done videos for fucking forever, and I like his like reviews and stuff still. I like his older ones better, but whatever. And I like that he's doing things that he wants to do. Like he does movie reviews now. I don't like his movie reviews, but I'm glad that he does them for himself or whatever. But I was watching his stream, and he's very mellow on his stream, and I was actually kind of surprised that he has so many viewers, because he like rarely talks, like replies to chat. He like is kind of a low energy, and I was wondering like if there's a certain point do people like you just get viewers and then like the viewers follow whatever. The whole thing is quite strange to me, because you would expect him to be freaking out because that's how his videos are. And I drop into his to view him every once in a while, and a lot of times it will be those other Alex or other Joe, and then I think the guy's name is Alex. Yeah, it's so he's an oddity of what my statement is of just the viewers wanting to see people flipping out. Okay, so this thing is done for the money part. I think we still have to test it, of course, but we need to figure out. So what is going on here? So if we have this, oh right, we needed to fix the input goods. So input goods, we don't want this to show up. So check for hide use. I think we need a separate one of these. So this one I think is, so this one's right here. Good panel container, add construction goods panel. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by my music that you guys can't hear. I'm like having those like thoughts. We were Crystal Mess was talking. Somebody in his chat was talking about like, do you think for a long time about your projects? Don't think for a long time about your projects, because then you just think about them and you never do them. And that's what I do. I'll like fantasize about, oh man, I can't wait till I get this one part of my project, and then I just won't do that because it's like I've overthought it. I've also noticed that in the past, if I told someone about my project, so if I say to someone, oh, I'm working on this thing, I lose complete interest in doing it. We got to figure out a way to differentiate between input goods and um, construction goods, but only over here. So we need to have this, and this is in the none category. So if we put that back, we kind of need another category. But none should cover it. So this is, if we, so how are we going to use this for the AI too? Because this we won't see it. So I don't think it will matter what we do here, because the AI is going to do it a different way. So if we did it, so if we show, I wish there was a way that we could tell. This is going to be the parent of the panel. So these things are instantiated. So maybe we could say, we don't actually even instantiate it here. Where are we instantiating? So it's instantiating here. And then we have a different thing. So we're returning this good panel to where? I love going through my old code. Okay, so it's right in here, and then we check for it here. And then, what was the thing we were we don't pass in. How does this know where it's because we could check. If its parent is like this thing, then we override. I think we can do that. I think that will work. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Back to this thing. So if we add this thing in here, this is generate construction costs. We do this hide thing, but in here, oh wait, this isn't gonna work because this is, yeah, it's not gonna work. We could check its parent's parent. We could. That actually might be a better solution than these status things. So what if we did, okay, let's like break this into smaller pieces. Sometimes that's easier for me. Most of the time that's easier for me. So if, how would we do this? Good panel container, get parents, get the fuck out of here. Why do I need to put that above that thing? To bool, yeah, no shit. Is equal to, do we have this? It should be here somewhere, maybe. I'm trying to, there's no good way to do this. Construction material title, construction panel container. It's probably that one. Let's see. So if we go and to, not that. If we go into, what is this thing called? This is this thing. And then we have county improvement, margin container, county improvement, V-box, possible improvements, or there's a current and possible. Is this one, and so possible buildings are going to be here. So if we go get parent, get parents, do we have possible improvement? We probably do. Possible. I would be shocked if we didn't. Possible. Go up. Really? No. Select possible building control. Selected possible building control equals this. You have press the county. We could add it in there, I suppose. So if we go, see, I'm saying, like, if it's a child of this, there's got to be a better way to do this. This is why I didn't want to do the thing. I can already feel it. So that could kind of solve some other problems, though. Instead of all these statuses, we could just check possible improvements. Are you looking at it over here? Let's just do it that way for now, and that's why this is also a clusterfuck, because there's just so many different so many different things and different ways I've done things. So let's go back up here. County improvement panel container is the thing we want. We are definitely in. So for this, we need to add a new thing. We have our packed scene, county improvement data. Oh, this might not be what I think it is, actually. Oh, it's different. It's a different thing. We have an instance of this, and we do have the, oh no, this is the scroll. Well, this would work too. This is the scroll panel. What was the parent of that thing? Possible building scroll container. Then we have this V-box. So the thing would be here. It would be this that we would be getting. Okay, so we can do that. This is private. We must be using this other one at for something because it's public. Okay, so let's get this long thing. We go back over here. We're just gonna we're gonna jump down to here. If get parents, I don't know if I can do this twice, but it seems like, get the fuck out of here, is equal to county improvements control dot instance dot then gd prints. We'll use the rainbow thing. Why am I doing a capital? Rich. I haven't done a rainbow thing in a long time, but we need to see this. What the fuck is this music that just started? This is inside the screw rainbows. It's all about the gradients. Can you just type in gradient though? This is inside the possible improvements. Yes. So if it shows this, God, I gotta change this music. This music is bad. We don't need that. Where's my music? It's bad. The name of the band's Youth. They're bad. Don't listen to them. Oh, right, with your extension. Your extension's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Let's restart this and see what happens. I think it's going to print this out a bunch of times because it's testing it each time. I should put it in like the name of the building or something. That was weird. Just to go black there for a second. All right, and I would be wrong about... Did I not save this shit? Okay. No, so it didn't... Good panel container get parent didn't hit that. So let's see. Let's look at the remote because we can check player UI. The whole fucking game is that. Nope. Nope. County improvements control. County improvements panel container. Margin container. HBox. Current. Oh, wow. We got, so here they all are. So get parents, get parent. Get parent is this one. But I think, no, should be it. So this get parent is this one. Possible buildings scroll container. That's what it's called, right? Possible improvements scroll container parent. This is the parent of that thing. Why did I do that? Okay, so if we could do get parent again. Why does it keep adding that thing in there? It makes me want to die. All right, there we go. Suhas, how's it going? All right. All right, so that's the parent of that thing. Okay, I'd be wrong again. Is this running in the right spot? Check for hidden remnants. Were you the person who had exams yesterday too, who was talking about it, or is that a different person? I thought that was a different person. Chemistry and physics and check for hidden remnants. So this should go through and run this in here. If good county panel, that wasn't you. Yeah, you have exams. It must be exam time. What are your exams on? The furry. I still don't know what that is. Okay, so what is going on here? Possible improvements. We got to figure out where this thing is. So possible improvements scroll box is the possible buildings V box. We're here. Possible, it's this one. And so we went, so on this remote, we still have this open? We do. So in this remote, we're right here. Possible buildings V-box container. Possible improvement scroll container parent. This is shittily named. Because this makes me think that this is this, but it's not. It's this. So we want get parent. Or no, just get parent. Here we go. How many exams do you have? He had 3. But his was like, he could take them from home, and they're like 20 minutes long, so they weren't like finals or anything. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, look at all these story event things. We need to get those out of there. Okay, so what is going on? Good panel container is being passed in. It's add construction. So it's after this. So it's already, it does have a child. This is an instance. Mechanical and electrical. So a lot of hands-on stuff. Possible county improvement. What am I missing here? I'm missing something dumb. We pass this thing in. This thing, we need to get the parent. What is this parent? We'll just put. Can we put the name of it? I think the name's gonna be gibberish though. Good. I do rainbow again because I want to be able to see this shit. Name of parent of good panel. No. Good. We need some squigs in here. Good panel container get parent. Why are you doing that? I think I can do name, but I think name, like I said, it's gonna be gibberish. I might be able to look it up. Let's see what happens here. Or maybe this isn't running at all. It should be here. Input grid container. Wow. Construction material cost grid container. Am I looking in the wrong spot? Input grid container. So this is actually what we, so the name did work. So this is exactly what we want. We want to say like is one of these construction material cost grid container. Where the flying fuck is that? Am I looking in the county improvement? Where's this grid container? Construction material cost. It doesn't exist. What? Good panel container? No, that's in the county improvements control. So this must be getting instantiated, I guess? But we're instancing a grid container? Where is, what? What is going on here? So here's our VBox. Oh. Bye, Godot. Godot has crashed. I think. Name of parents of good panel. Input grid container. Is it okay? So it is a grid container because we're using that columns thing, and these are not grid containers. Where the fuck is this thing? All right, come on, just finish your crashing, Godot. Whoops. So this is probably actually going to be, no, it isn't. Yeah, I've definitely decided I'm 100% buying a new computer soon because this thing's on its last leg. But the other issue is that computers cost $1 bazillion now. Like this shit is not inexpensive. 5090s are out of control. All right, we got to find this thing. So there's somewhere. I must be looking in the wrong spot. County improvements control, you would think would be where it is. Research control, story event, map editor, county info, goods panel. Where is this thing? So it was like grid container or something. Let's run this again. Grid container something. So possible county improvements. I wonder if we're generating construction material cost grid container. We must be instantiating that somewhere, but then it would be in remote, right? Can we search remote? Construction. That's not what it's called. Construction material cost grid container. I'm very confused here. There's some like thing that I did and now I can't remember what it was. So it should be in here. It's not in here. But current building scroll box, no. Possible. So here they are. Construction panel, like their construction goods. Nope. Right? Here it is. And there they are. So we're getting this parent. So this thing is some county improvement panel container. So we're instantiating this, which makes sense. Okay, so we would have to go, how many parents would we have to, Conrad, how's it going? Doing good. Forgetting how I created something. And now, so we're gonna need to get like the parent of the parent of the parent of the parent, or or we have to do this a different way. But I think this should, I don't know. Can we get, so how many parents would we have to get here if we wanted to do this? So this is this parent, but this is instantiate. Yeah, so we'd have to go 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Can you just put a number in here? Good God, if I change anything, can you put like get parent 6? Can you just put like a 6 in here? I mean, it's 5. Nope. Right? Like, why can't you just get all the way up there? We know the name of the thing because we ran this. We could compare it to the name. Like if this equals that. But find child? Can we find parent? No, we don't want to find the parent because we got to compare it because it will find, well, no, it wouldn't even find. We could compare it to this thing, but what happens if I rename this? Everything breaks. Okay, so what if we do this? We know the name of its parents. So if this is dumb, but I think this is gonna work. If name is equal to, get this out of there, get this out of here, get this here. We're gonna comment this out just for now. Construction spelled wrong. um, um, what's going on here? All right. Construction. Copy this. Come on. Here, just use the double click. Jesus Christ. Then we got to go back to wherever this thing is. County Improvement Panel Control. Container. Just making sure. We got to go in here. And find this thing. See, this thing is complicated. This thing is, it's this one. We gotta rename construction, because did I spell construction wrong? Like, all over the place? Construction. See, there's one right above it. Then we gotta save this. Then we gotta rerun this. So Conrad, I was making a statement earlier that I think that viewers like when streamers are freaking out. How do you feel about that statement? Okay, so that worked. Like, they like it when they're over-energizing and waving their arms around and shouting about something. So we could do it this way. This is some dumb shit, though. I'm asking you specifically, sorry, because he's a streamer as well. Joker's a streamer too. Joker, how do you feel about that? How does all of chat feel about that statement? A lot of wasted energy unless the moment calls for it. I think that, like, yeah, I think that that's the people are wasting their energy, but it does get them the views. This strange way of doing things works, so, like, why not? So what we would do here is we would put this, we would copy this, we would put this here, then we would cut this and put this down here, but then this thing, yeah, this is some dumb shit way to do this, but let's see. Let's see if this works. One day I'm going to go through this and just be horrified at myself. What is this shit? There's always a reason generally when I stumble across old code like this, though, that whether, yeah, I mean, this is new code, but all right, so there's a problem with that idea. So it's putting this, so it's the problem with this idea is that now it's setting all of these all right, so that doesn't really work. So what's another way we can do this? So when this thing pops up, maybe I should take a quick break. There it is. I'm like 2 minutes, 1 minute from a break here, from break time. So the other way works, the money and the remnants, let's comment this out real quick and just double check. But I'm pretty sure, because I added money to that one thing. It works for part of it. Maybe we do it the opposite. Oh, but it's also going to throw off the other thing. Well, that doesn't. Nothing is showing. These ones should show. But we have the none in there. So if we construct something. Oh, well, those aren't replaceable by remnants. Yeah, I'm gonna go smoke real quick. Maybe I'll have some epiphany while I'm out smoking, and I'll be like, wait, this is how you do it. You do it with whatever, and then you do this, and yeah. All right, let me throw out my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back, and I gotta start my music, and I gotta turn my break timer. Let's see what we're doing here. Let's see what we're doing. I did not think about this at all while I was outside. Let's think about this with new eyes. If you get new eyes on things, sometimes you think about them differently. So this thing gets instantiated here. And what we want is it to run this hide thing. But we want it to hide them correctly on this thing. So we need this to run to a point, but we also, they're all hidden at this point. Should hide checkbox, so it should show them if Um, so we could throw, but this still the problem is that this is gonna show the input goods. How did we do that the one time? We commented this out, and then we did this. If, but it's going to show all of those. How did this work? What did this show before? The problem with this way was it was showing we're onto something here, but it's not quite right. Yeah, no, so this worked for these ones, but the problem is the input goods are showing. So if we did, instead of fucking with those ones, if we did this, we need that, oh, I commented it out. Did I delete it? I deleted it. It was GD print. Well, I think we can just get it from here, actually. We have it over here now that I know where it is. It is adjustable builders. Input goods, it's this one. We need a copy of this, and then we go, if this equals this, we hide them all. This is like a, this is inside the input goods. So we hide the input goods here. Let's see what that does. I think we're close. Well, I shouldn't say that because a second ago I thought we were, and we were not. All right, so we go to here. This doesn't help us. This does. This does, and here's an example. So we can use remnants on construction grids. Okay, so that works. So let's go put a better note in this thing of why this is so strange. This, since we don't want the input good, wait, we use this somewhere else. So I wonder if it will, let's build something and see if this fucked up something else. There's no input goods on that. Construct, this has input goods. So this doesn't have, yeah, it's not going to work because now it's, so we do need to get this parent, this very top parent. So I wonder if there's a better way to do that besides putting get parent 6 times in here. It's surprising that you can't put a number in here. There's another way to do this. We could check, so this thing, this county improvement panel container, if we, okay, so what if we do this? If we say, if this is that what this thing is? County improvement panel container, it is. So if we go, what am I deleting here? This get parent is equal to What was that other thing? County improvement control dot instance dot possible. If this is this, we do this, and then what happens? Did I save that shit? Because its parent should be there. This is inside the input containers. Okay, so this, we're checking if this whole box is inside this thing. And this fired, so that means that it is. Construction goods does not have the checkbox, though. This, what we want to have it see is this checkbox. So what went wrong here? Okay, so okay, all right. So this, we're kind of onto something here. This is hiding all of them, but what we want to do, this is hiding all of them, so we got to think about how this was going to work. This doesn't mean anything. We'll just comment this out because we're going to change this in a second here. All right, I'm starting to speed up. So if we check if this whole container is inside of here, we need to, this might be an actual better way to do this whole thing. So if this is inside here, we need to hide if it's an input good. So we would do that with, so we would go, then inside this, we would say if good panel container get parent, this one is equal, dot name is equal to inputs good container, in quotes, then we hide those. We might change how we do these other things too. Get the fuck out of here. And then we do this. We could put, no, that's fine, I don't care. So then we run this again. Actually, this GD print is not very useful right now. Yeah, I'm listening to Destroy Boys again. I'm back to that band. That's why I don't want to have my playlist showing. It's because I just listen to the same music over and over again. So we have our used remnants here. We don't have it here. Wood should have it. Then we shouldn't have it here because this is money and remnants. These input goods don't have it, but this one does. So that looks right. Let's construct this now. But this still doesn't have it. So what happened? So this is... this is under construction. So under construction should actually not have it. So that's right. We gotta build this thing. And these are right too. So now we need to test with, we need to test something like this will work. So this should not have, oh no, that one's right. This one, the construction goods, we've built that. I wonder if we should just hide the construction goods price, because, or the construction goods panel at this point, because it's already been constructed, or I mean, it's already been paid for. I guess we can worry about that at some other point, because it kind of looks like you're being charged for this twice or more. But this does not have input goods. Let's run this. We need to build that thing. Research for Garden 1 has been completed. Garden 1 is input 100, and we can check this for use remnants. And then this is not checkable, which is what we want. So far that looks like it works. So the construction goods are gone. I think the reason why I was leaving that, can we build something else? Here we go. The reason why I was leaving this here, it says none, but it's so that you can know how much you're going to get back, because you get back some of your resources. I think you get back half of them. I can't remember. So all right, so that everything there works, except for we need to test. Let's restart this. We need to test when you click it, does it do something? And we can also get rid of this thing. We'll worry about fixing these if things in a second. All right, so we're there. Got a slow start today. So if you click this, does it do anything? It does. So now this has been turned on, but what we also need to do when this is checked is check if that allows you to build it, because now it should be checking for 5 remnants. So 5 or 10 and 5. So when you check this box, we need it to see and to double check if you can build it. What a pain in my ass this is. All right, so we got this. This makes it so that this is why, I didn't want to use remnants checkbox is only shown on construction items. Okay, we'll get rid of this thing. Wait, what about our research? We got to check our research, see if we fucked something up there now. That looks right. That looks right. Okay. We can delete that. Actually, I'm going to leave this here temporarily. And I'll put like a note. Get rid of this soon. All right. So back to... We hit that button. When you check that, that's like a signal that's getting... Where is this signal? Because we fucked with that yesterday. We set the signal, but we need, and it's obviously working. What did it say? Use remnants has been toggled. Use remnants. Go to the next one. Okay, so set use remnants sets this, but we also need it to double check the construction thing. We could do the same if it's impossible, whatever. And we have a method that already does this. So we can use that method. I don't know what it's called. Check for goods column? No. Check if research is assigned. Check for max workers. We do need to fix a bunch of research stuff too. Update progress, update max workers. For some reason I stopped using private. Update construction build cost. Remove. Check for construction resources. It's this thing. And I don't even know where I was. I should have left a bug there so I could just click down to it. This also doesn't have a private in front of it. Set use remnants. Here we go. So this is going to set this toggled, and then we do this. What happens if we do this? We're going to test this 2 different ways. I have a feeling something's going to break when we do this, but I wonder if it runs through all of them. No, it's just in that one panel, I think. I don't want to reinstantiate everything if that's the case. Okay, so we say use remnants. We have no way to know if this is working. Check building costs. We'll put this in back. We'll put this back. And if county improvement, wait, how are we doing this? I skipped through this too quickly. Where was this thing? This guy. So we pass in the county. Is it going through all of them? County data, check building costs. This is going through. We have a county data and a county improvement. How does it know? So this works, but I don't. Oh, it's passing in this. This is a very strange way that we did this here. This county improvement data. Oh, we must not have known what county this county improvement data. We've somehow been able to get away with that forever. I wonder if I added that in. The location of the county improvement is never. The county improvement doesn't know where it is. So that's what's going on here. So how does this thing currently passes in the player faction data? If the AI needs to use this, then we need to have it in a. Does it? I don't see any player faction data. Currently passes in the player faction data. I don't see this at all. Why would the AI? Oh, I do know why the AI would need this. Okay, so check building costs. We've passed in this because this is in the banker. That is, how does this thing know what the county improvement data is? Because this is the panel container for the thing that we've assigned here. Okay, so that makes sense. But we didn't know this one, but we get it from there. All right, we get it from where the player has clicked on this thing. I don't think this is true anymore. Oh my god, I gotta skip a song again. You know, I can just remove. I can just remove it from my list there, or yeah, from my playlist. Okay, so this gets passed to here. We know that this, because we're in that actual panel. Check building cost. If the county data is null, that must have something to do with, I don't know, like AI stuff. The county improvement data goods construction cost is not equal to null. So if this is a dictionary. Yeah, so this is a dictionary that has all the goods in it. And so if this is null, we don't have to do this. So what does this do? It just returns true. You can build it. So then this goes through and it gets a good type. It gets the county resource type and it gets the faction resource type. If the good type is a county good or both, it checks the county amount of the good. Currently only remnants is both, and the player is taking from the county amount. Okay, so this is going to check, and if any of them are bad, the construction thing doesn't come up. So we probably could skip straight to this. instead of doing that other step. What was that other step for? I'm just gotta double check here. Oh, showing the button. No, we do need this. So back to this thing. We need to rewrite this. So it's checking for building cost. If this is good. This is good too. So then it's going to go through the key value pair. It's going to goods. We have the good type. So we need to change how the good type, what good type it is. What are we using the good? County good. And then if the county good, so we need to change. Both means it's remnants. If it's a county good type or both, else it checks the faction level. So up here, where it says good type, we need to check if the good data has, if good key value pair, key, is it not the key? Oh, lowercase. Use remnants is equal to true. We don't need the equal to true. Then we, the good type is going to be, it's going to equal all enums good type. What are our options? It's going to be both. What's your problem? You cannot be declared up there. That is a good point. Let's move these up here. Let's put this here. Oh, I got an equals there. Okay, so it's going to set these for these things unless it use remnants as set. Then we're going to use all enums county good type. This should be, we're going to set this manually to resource type is going to be all enums. Is it really called resource type? Good county good type. These need to be renamed to that. And this needs to be renamed to that. Remnants. And the faction doesn't matter, I don't think. So this is going to check. I guess we just got to do it. Let's make sure this is saved. Let's see what we got going here. Man, time's kind of flying. I've actually noticed that time has been flying for me very, very quickly. Like, I called my dad for Father's Day, and it felt like I called him last week for Father's Day, and I did not. We're in the wrong spot there. Do we have any remnants? So this is down, is doing this down here, but we don't know if we, how many remnants do we have? We have 5. Let's give ourselves, is that really? Yeah, let's give us some ridiculous amount. I wonder if I can just jam it right in here. We have the county data. We can just jam it right here. County for whoops. For testing. What did we need? We need a bunch of remnants. So we need county data dot goods, all enums, good type, county good, no, good type, county good type. And then we're going to do remnants, amount, plus equals 500. We'll just add our 500 in here. Oh, we need this after this, though. Okay, so this is, we're just going to manually give ourselves 500 remnants so that we can, hopefully. And I hope I save that. Normally I'm like a oversaver. I don't know. Something like that. All right, let's see here. County improvements. We didn't check if we have enough. That did not work. It should have worked now, though. Yeah, so we have 222. This thing just didn't update because it doesn't know that we're doing that. All right, so this didn't work because it should rerun that check every time. So what are we doing wrong here? We've given ourselves enough remnants. So if the county good is both, and then the county good type amount is less than the key value pair, return false. So here we should have remnants is at this point. Okay, so it actually is working. Yeah, so it's actually working, but it's not updating this show thing. We need it to update immediately when you check this. So the thing's working. So what is going on here? Because I see a bunch of things here. Whoops, I didn't want you to go away. I want you to come back over here. So it should have also taken this away. Checking building. But it is right. It just is not showing it. So what is happening? We check that. That's under this thing. Where are we using this again? It's right. It's this one. Use remnants has been toggled plus toggle on. So that's happening. Check for construction resources. If it's passing in the county data, it's passing in the improvements. God damn it, I've rolled over my cord again. This cord's the worst. I'm going to tear this off my head one day on accident. So I wonder what this was returning. If this is returning the wrong thing. Or like the county data is null or something. Because when we check it, it does say This is set to false, and this is... But this should go away at that point. So it's hitting this. It's not doing this, so it's not returning false. It's giving us an additional 500 remnants, which is out of control, but it's okay. Then, what are we returning here? Can we can do this. Bool. Check building cost equals this. And then we'll do... Actually, we can just leave this in here, because this is going to return the same thing. The auto mod just... Oh, we need this in both places, actually. The auto mod just said it blocks something. Let me look at it 1 second. This can be here, because they should be returning the same thing. And then what we'll do is GD prints check building cost is colon space. I guess we could just put that thing over there. Check building cost. All right, it's probably some spammer. It's probably a spammer. Yeah, it's the viewers thing. It's always the viewers thing on the auto mod. Okay, so we want to see if this is returning true. They should return the true or false, or true at this point when we check that. I'm wondering if it's like showing it, but it's not attached or something. It's like not a child or... check building cost is true for all these other ones, though. That's going to be... Check building cost is false. It's still false. I know why. I know why. This is dumb. Where the fuck is this thing? This is very dumb. This one. This needs to be above here. Because it has to, it doesn't know that it, oh my god. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, I should have used a breakpoint. I forgot breakpoints existed. So this should still not work because we don't have any iron. And then we turn this off. Yep, that works. Have I ever been in MVP? How's it going? Have I ever been in web development? I have not. I managed. I'm gonna call it managed a project for someone, for myself. But it wasn't. Do we want that to turn off? What if you close this and reopen it? Why do you ask? I don't know if we want that to turn off. It was with JavaScript. But I don't know any, I mean, I out of a scale of 1 to 100, I'm in like a 2 with JavaScript, 100 being the best. Do we want that to turn off? What happens if they wanted to build a bunch of Fisher sheds right in a row? They probably want that to stay. However, the players last did it. So we can just leave it like that. And it kind of remembers The problem is they're going to forget. So if we constructed it, then we go through and we turn all those off. We'll leave it for now, I think. But this works. This clusterfuck of the way we did this. Are you a web guy? I was going to tell any web guy that shows up something. So that works. We could probably get rid of this. I guess this terrible stuff. You quit game development? Why? We can fix this. We should probably fix all of this stuff while we're here. True is redundant. It's useless in your country? What do you mean? So we got rid of these parameters so we could get rid of this. There's no money in it. What if you don't do it for money? What? How am I supposed to survive without any money? We'll convert this to gibberish that I don't understand. There we go. This one had some too, I think. No? There was one other one that had a bunch, I thought. Remote work, teach it online, make a game yourself and sell it, and then make... Yeah, let's get some more information on this, the no money. We've talked before, haven't we? You sound... your name sounds familiar. It always wants me to make these abstract. Okay, so we did that. It works. That was kind of a pain. We're going to push to main today, I think, regardless of what we do. And we'll close this branch. Add raw materials to talk bar. So what we have, the problem here, I think we're going to push to main. We're very close to pushing to main. The exploration is basically done for the basics that we needed. We don't have... how much have you been in this? So it was actually, yesterday was my 250th stream of working on this game. I only work on it 3 hours each stream though, so it's not that much time. You know, it's a long time. So it's like 3 years. Wait, 250. 5 years? 250 divided by 2 is 120. Weekends. 125, obviously. But if you do 251, including this one, times 3, divided by 40, you know, it's only 18 weeks. So it's not even a full year of work. So it's not even a half year of work. So it depends on how much time you put in. I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, especially because the game market's flooded. And, you know, you look at... So I actually read it often. I must have clicked on a game in Reddit, you know, a game ad, and now it's always giving me game ads. And they're definitely, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, a strategy game. I want to see another new strategy game, and I'll click on it. And they're dog shit. And because the market's just flooded, and with AI coming out, we're gonna have a flood of more dog shit. I was gonna go to Steam and look at the dog shit, but I don't think we need to. A ponytail on the side of your head, like what's that lady's name? Queen Sovereign. I think that's what her name is. No, what is her name? Sovereign. She's a rapper. Lady Sovereign. This picture is not good of her. Like this. This is like this. Like this is Does it look like this? It does? Oh, nice. Bad internet, man. I've sometimes wanted to move out in the boonies, but I don't want bad internet. Like I have to have good internet. It's a requirement for me now. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. We did that. The top bar is what we're working on now. We've moved to the top bar. So basically what we have here is we have food, guns. They're not guns. We need a tooltip on this shit because I can't remember what this stuff is, and I always tooltip over and there's nothing here. So this is influence. Let's fix those tooltips. Food, the influence, money, the remnants. Oh, we should get rid of that thing. We need to get rid of that cheat that I just put in because later I'm gonna be like, why the fuck are we always having so many extra remnants? Where was that shit? I lost it. It's gone. So what is my dream of life? My dream of life. So all of my dreams have been crushed. And now I'm too old to make new ones. It's all over, man. What are my dreams? So when I was younger, I had a couple of dreams that, no, I don't want any kids. I had a couple of dreams when I was younger. One of them was these were either or. I wanted to live in a castle when I got older, like a legitimate castle. Like that was a dream. Like I don't know how I would do it, but I wanted to live in a castle and like throw like punk rock shows in the castle. That didn't happen, obviously. I live in a basement. Now I have a house, but it's not a castle. And then the other option was I wanted to live in space. And I know you're like, what? Like on a fucking space station, you know? That didn't happen either. You can't even live in a space station. And don't tell me the International Space Station, because it's not an option. So a space castle would be nice, but we need to find this thing. Where did I put that cheat? I said something about testing. Testing. Was it capital testing though? I don't remember. It's one of these. It was like, this is just for testing. I can't believe I can't find this thing. Now it's weird. It's weird to want to have those dreams. I don't know. I thought it was more possible. I thought space technology would be going quicker than almost not at all. Like the speed that we're going at. So we had it so when this was like showing a panel here. It wasn't when we were showing a panel, it was when we were checking for here, then we were going in here, and then we were throwing this right here. And then we'll hide that. Have you ever been in sports? No, I've never been a sports guy. No sports for me. Well, I played some football when I was in high school. I was trying to fit in. It didn't work. I didn't fit in. I hated it. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some place for you in life. And I was like, I guess I'll try football. I was too skinny. I needed to like bulk up. Fucking. All right. So we got rid of that cheat. Let's add some tooltips because that is kind of annoying me that I can't remember what this shit is. And I gotta close this. What about you? I was the football. No, I was I was the what do they call those things that the people ram into? Um, uh, what about you, MVP or Joker? All of chat. What were your guys? What are your guys' dreams? I do have like one dummy on a stick. Yeah, that thing. I do have one football story that I actually like. So I was on the uh, like the team that I was on. Like when you practice, they put you on like the shitty players. They like divide you up, and then like the good players would practice against the shitty players. And all of us people who were not that into football were like kind of tired of being being the dummies on the stick there. And um, so one day it wasn't always like that, like they would practice the whole team together, but sometimes when they wanted to do certain things that they were testing, um, so they wanted to train us in some sort of like the, defensive line or something. And they put all the shitty players on one side and they put all the good players on the other side. And we were very sick of it, of getting annihilated. So we all got together. It was kind of a testament to being beat down, and we all got together and like huddled, because they would just be like, yeah, form a line, guys, and then they would get the good players and actually plan out a strategy, and then we would just get like, they would just kind of just walk over us, right? So we all got together and we're like, let's just fuck these guys up. And we just went ape shit on them, and we just destroyed them. Like so that you would do a play, and then they would just reset and do another play and reset. And the coach was getting so pissed because like the shitty players were just we weren't following the rules or anything either. Like when I say we weren't following the rules, the unspoken rules of we were just supposed to stand there. Instead, we can see what they were planning, and we'd be like, okay, so when they're gonna do that, everyone fucking swarm this guy, and then you two stand over here and you get demolished, and then we'll swap and the coach is like, you guys got stop. I remember that one. It was just one day, and then we never could regain the magic. You don't know about the dreams, but wanted full-time Twitch or YouTube at one point. Now I just want as much passive flows as I can. JM, how's it going? Passive flows as in passive lettuce, right? MVP. It wasn't fair, but that was part of the practice, was that these guys needed more practice than us. So it's not like they were picking on us. They were, but not like, it's just part of being in sports. There's some people have to be the dummies on a stick. He was kind of his son was on the team too, and I felt bad for his son because you got the coach, and his son was really short, and it was like he was a disappointment just because he grew up short. The poor son. He was good at football because since he came out of his mom, he was trained in football. But it was he wanted a big giant guy, and he got a little guy. Yeah, no, I think there's like 1 year of football. Exactly. I can't remember if the coach was fat. I think he was just like you know how like when weightlifters stop lifting weight, they kind of like these wide fat guys. I think he was like that. I can't remember his name. Otherwise, we could look him up. He would be so old by now. Okay. So we're top bar. We're gonna fix this top bar shit. So where is this top bar? We gotta go look at this top bar first. We are in the wrong spot. We can close some of this stuff. Population row. He wasn't. He could. I don't know. He may have been that type of thing for some people. Um, oh, you know what? I do remember him because he got pissed at me once. Um, I got thrown out of class. This is not for. This is not football related, but he was covering for like the math teacher or something for history or something, and I got thrown out of class for being rebellious, and they made me sit outside, which was kind of common for like a lot of people. So, so I was supposed to be sitting outside quietly, but there was like a so in my high school they had like these temporary trailers that were permanent, basically that everyone had classes in because there wasn't the school grew too fast. So, anyways, the outside of one of these temporary trailers was just like a table, one of those shitty lunch tables that's round, and yeah, the portable things, exactly those things. Um, and I was standing and walking in circles around the like on the benches of it, and it was making this it would like clonk back and forth, and that like enraged him that I was thrown out of class for being loud, and then I was making noise outside, and I remember he totally wanted to like punch me. He was just like screaming and having a meltdown. Um, yeah, he was like I was talking about. Now that my memory, like he used to lift weights and then he stopped because he was a dad or something. All right, here's the top bar. Um, so what do we got in here? That we don't need it for time, but we do need it. How did we do this? So probably on this we need the tooltip, and we need to fire up the good old. Um, it's probably already in here. The localization here that is very bright in my eyes. Yeah, I wonder, is that still done where they roll out those trailers and then they never take them away? They always say, "Oh, this is just temporary." It's, yeah. Um, so I don't think these are words. I mean, it is a word, but it's not a sentence here as a word. I think it's a good. Yeah, that's what we want. So we're going to do like good influence, and we'll just pop this tooltip right here. Make sure it doesn't have that extra thing. All right, man. Nice talking to you. I don't think I heard your dreams, though. Next time you can tell us, everyone, your dreams. So we have influence. We need money. Tooltip. This is quite easy. This is nice that this is so easy. Um, and what is this one? See, this is where I can't remember. This is building materials. Is this supposed to be remnants? It looks like by the number it's remnants, which kind of makes sense. I guess we'll know when we scroll down to it. It is remnants. And then what do we got left? We have remnants, building materials. I'm pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be. There's no building material in this good list. Oh, it's up here. Yeah, it is the building material. And then once again, make sure if you're doing this, that extra line in there, it breaks the thing. Let's see, what are the guns? I think that's supposed to be tools or something. Equipment. Do we actually keep track of that equipment? Is that being... I guess we are. I don't know why this is bringing a new line in every time either. Mm, okay, then the last one is food. Food, here we go. Tooltip. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that thinking back to high school that uh, at times it says I was very shy, but then at times I don't know what was going on. I like to run my mouth and be loud because I can remember a few times like that. But I was also like I didn't think anyone liked me, etc., and nobody did. So I wasn't that far off there, but it's like getting in trouble for being too loud. I also remember back in so this is late '80s, early '90s. I don't remember what they were called, but women used to wear these stretchy belts that like they would whatever they were like wide like this tall, they would stretch. And one day, me and somebody else in class were using one of we asked this girl to take off her belt, which I can't even believe that the things that you would like that that's inappropriate. But she gave us her belt, and we were using it as a slingshot to fire pins across the class. Uh, More as a catapult. It's kind of slingshotty. Anyways, um, like that. That seems like and we got in trouble. Call that old glory. Old glory is when you like think back and you think of the days of when you were cool or whatever, and it's just it's kind of a pointless thing. The salad days. All right, so we fix those things, but we do need to add in here raw materials because we don't have a raw materials, and these are like um, these are to kind of give the player a better idea of what's going on. Um, there's two different ways it shows. This is kind of going to be how much time do we have? Oh, it's time for me to take a break. Um, I don't know if this is going to be a pain or not, but we are going to have to see like this almost seem. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Tooltip works so easily. Um, Raw materials should probably, I guess we'll just put it at the end, but we're going to need an icon and stuff for it. But let me take a quick break. I don't know if I can finish that in an hour. We'll see how difficult it is, but we have room for it. Let me pause my music that um, you guys can't hear, and let me throw out my break timer, and I'll be right back. All right. Is Critters normally very punctual? Let me turn this back. We're still responding to an old chat message there. I guess we'll just listen to the same crap over again. You guys can't hear it. What do you care? Top bar. We got an hour. Did I turn on my break timer? Yes, is the answer. Okay, so we need a icon for raw materials. Raw material. A crystal? How about like ore? Ore. Perfect. Here we go. PNG? Sure. I think I was resizing these to a specific thing. Let's take a look. See here. How is I doing this shit? What are you doing? Why are you popping up? Well, you have a lot of stuff. This game is getting quite. I thought I needed to rename my resources. This game is getting quite complicated and full. So what's special about these are SVGs? Some of them are SVGs and some of them are okay. 256 by 256. What is this thing? Why are you in this order? Look at all those things. Distracted by games? What games is he playing these days? What is this thing? I guess I could ask him that. Resize. This is 511 by 511. Was I manually resizing these things? I don't remember. Probably. Resize. 256 by 256. File, save as. Let's make that a capital O, though, just for some reason. Yes. Make sure that that's turned on the most. Move this over here. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my dates. It didn't remember my capital O. Looks like, okay, I see what I'm doing here. Raw materials. Is that what I'm calling this shit? I guess building materials. Have I created a enum for it? So this is gonna be a faction type. This fucking cord, man. Faction. I do have it in here, and I did call it raw materials, so that's what we're going with. I think I created that the other day, like last week or something. We'll put this. Oh no, we can't do it this way. We got to click on this. There, we got that. I don't know. I don't think I'm breaking anything yet. That's going to happen in a minute, though. And so we have this. Oh, look, it's a different. What was that one? It had a different RGB to it, whatever it was. Huh. Then we're going to need to like make a copy of this thing. It looks like we're going to need to make a copy of 3 things. Is this going to work? Can I just hit duplicate here? And then we're going to rename this. Let's see if this appeared. It did. We're going to call this raw materials. And then we're going to rename this to raw materials. And then food number is actually going to be raw material. And I don't think we need, I'm hoping that this will be the last thing we'll need at the top bar. We're going to obviously have a beautification process at some point. And come on. Oh, we're gonna have all sorts of issues here, I think. This is not gonna be as easy as we would like it to be. There we go. So we have that. I don't know how it's getting these things. Do I have like an array or something? What happens if we just hit play right now? I don't think, did I create a good for this? Because I think all the faction goods have goods as well. You should probably throw some airs here is probably what it's going to do. I'd like to push the main today. Well, it definitely didn't grab it. So how are we doing this? We got our clock. We got our good labels. So we're going to need some more of those. Raw materials. Raw materials. I do want to push the main. That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. Okay, so we have update money, update influence, faction level goods, county level goods. Okay, so we do have update labels with faction amounts. So there's two ways the players can look at this. Is part of why this is kind of complicated. Everything's more complicated than it seems. It's like throw some fucking numbers up there, right? It's not that way. Raw materials label. It looks like we put this number here and this number here. And then we can save that. And do we have raw materials in here? We don't. Raw materials. Good paper. We should probably sort this here. Actually, let's sort it. Let's do our data sort. Has a thing. Column A. Did you do it? Yeah, so we don't have it yet. Good raw materials. Yeah, I'm still streaming on mine. Should I just like jump into his stream and yell at him? Hey, I'm streaming, but fuck you. Just making sure that we actually filled out all of those things. We did. We're gonna stream lurk. New translation. I do wonder how many people, how many people lurk for themselves. Primus Materius. All right, we got that. We need to re-import this, but we can't while it's open. My game or just the game he's playing? There's no Magonks in this yet. We need some Magonks though. There needs to be more Magonks in every game. Every game needs. I know, right? Every game needs more Magonks. A Magonk is a mage monk. Just in case you're wondering what we're talking about. It's a mage monk. So I think we do need to create a good, though, for this. Not tokens. Because if I remember correctly, how we do this, yeah, see, like we have an equipment good. Faction resource description, equipment. And then we have a good type called equipment, and then raw resources or raw materials should be in there now. It is. And it's a faction good. Yeah, so we need to make a. This is going to be raw. Are we doing spaces? No. Materials. And then we do need some more translations here. A monk mage. A moog. Muag. Muig. Muig. So we're going to need. It looks like on that I had some sort of faction good. What was the one? I was looking at equipment. And when I looked at this, faction resource description equipment. Is that a thing that exists anymore? Faction. No, so this is wrong. We changed this. What did I click on? I wonder if these other ones are busted. They probably are. We probably didn't update all these. So good equipment. This is the problem with doing anything, is that we find other issues. Good equipment. No, wait, this is a description. Good equipment description. This is past me broke it. So let's see if these all have the correct thing. Good description, building materials. Good description. Maybe it was just that one. And I just happened to click on that one. Because that was a faction one. I can feel the pressure of wanting to hurry to get this done. So let's put this one in. I guess I could just have good description. I just inserted the materials. The primary. Commodore, how's it going? I don't know what to do with my affinity for technology. The world of the 21st century seems to be hostile. My hyper-curious mind of hyper-concrete thinking. Do you think you can help? I don't actually know what you're saying. I don't know what to do with my affinity for technology. Is your affinity high or low? The world of the 21st century seems to be hostile to my hyper-curious mind of hyper-concrete things. World of the hostile to your, what is it's high. You have a high affinity for technology. Hostile toward what? Who's hostile? What's hostile towards your hyper curious? What are you doing that's hyper curious that's causing hostility? Are you a hacker? the base materials used to create other things. Period. I hate black boxes and things so complicated they might as well be black boxes. I don't know if that makes any sense to me. What sort of black box are you talking about? We need to translate this. There used to be a guy. What was his name? Oh, he used to come into my other stream on my other channel that you remind me of. The heart of all computers. I don't think computers have hearts. Anthropomorphism. Is that what we're talking about? Where you like give human characteristics to inanimate objects. Yeah, I mean, it just it's just computers aren't very mysterious to me. Not like I know how they all work or anything. It's just that is they're just a bunch of parts that are pretty obvious what they're supposed to do. I think you're overthinking things. That's my first thought. So we got to put this description up here. But I might not be understanding what you're putting down. You know what I mean? This needs to be raw materials. This is a faction good. Perishable is neither. It's not an equipment data. We have that one. I don't know how to think any other way. Explain yourself in a simpler way. Use less words. You got to break it down into, right as I said that the song I'm listening to said break it down as well. You got to break it down into its most simplistic thing. So these all look right. I guess there was just that one that was messed up. And then we added one. And then I have a feeling we're going to have another thing happen that I'm trying to remember. We had to do... we had to do one more... After we added a new good, there was something that was thrown off every time. And I can't remember what it was. Was it under goods? I have to use a lot of words because the lack of using enough words has historically led to miscommunication. So I used to write these things that I would post on Facebook sometimes that I have. I think I wrote like 1,000 of them. They're like less than a page, and I used to just write them for myself. And being concise, I found, so a lot of times I posted probably like a third of them on Facebook. And what I noticed like towards the beginning of me posting these things is that people often misunderstood what I was saying. So they would just be like a silly observation on something, whatever. And people would misunderstand what I was saying. And when they would misunderstand, it would be wildly different. And I would even say, I wrote it, this is what I meant. And they would say, no, this is what you meant. I'd be like, what? I fucking wrote it. I know what I meant. So I try to be as concise as possible. So as I evolved with my writing, I would make it very clear what I was talking about. And that's what you need to do. You need more clear exactly what you're talking about. Because currently you're just talking gibberish. So what do you actually mean? Just like spit it out. And there's like this pseudo intellectual talk is what's going on here. So what was the thing that used to happen? Because what you're saying doesn't mean anything. When you say, I don't know what to do with my affinity for technology, the world of the 21st century seems to be hostile to my hyper-curious mind of hyper-concrete things. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it. And all of those words added up don't mean anything. Well, you have to say exactly what you mean. Like, you have to give an example. All right. What are we doing here? We got that, but there was always a bug that we had to fix, and I forget what it was, though. They shouldn't show up on here because they're maybe it was only county goods. So maybe we don't have to worry about that. But we do need to worry about is getting these updated faction level stuffs. Count all county faction resources. So how are we doing this? 0 the faction resources. Okay, so we manually put this stuff in here. Okay. So we want to do faction goods, raw materials. Wait, raw material, building material, remnants. We're having some issues with our pluralness here. So it should be building material is raw material. I don't think the S should be on there. These don't matter. What does this thing want? Too private. All right. What were we counting here? Count all county faction resources. Let's look at our enums here. So Remnants has an S on it. The problem is some of these, I think this should not have an S on it. Remnant. But then this good should be remnant. What did I put for it before? It has an S on the end. I guess we'll leave it for now. We can deal with that later. We can worry about it later. I wonder if I just broke things by renaming that. So we have that. We need to go back to our accounting thing. We've added this in, so that's 0 county. What does this do? Is it just for each through it all? It doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't. There must have been a reason for this. Raw material. And count all county faction resources. This is the one we just did. I want to know the complete inner workings of the machine so much that I can design a better machine than I can get at a store, a more custom machine through the levels of customization. And I can't do that because things are designed to be too complicated for one human to have a complete understanding. I can't modify an Intel CPU like a guy on the drag strip modifies his car. I can't learn to code because the concept of code to me feels like invalid abstract vapor. All right, so that makes sense. That sentence, paragraph, makes sense. So then you feel like you're at a loss because you can't do that. I'm putting words in your mouth. Is that what you're saying, though? You can do it to a point. You still got to use the CPUs that are available. Like, you can't make your own CPUs, which is a bummer. But you could use the ones that are available to modify certain. You can modify certain stuff. People love to build crazy computers. County faction user. Okay, so this is the same thing. Wait, this doesn't have equipment in here. This. I don't know if we just forgot to do this or if we don't. I can understand what you're saying. I can empathize with that. Like, things are definitely more complicated now, and you can't go in your garage and invent some new thing to take over like a new CPU, let's say, a new computer type. You can't go in your garage and create a new computer that will revolutionize the world while, you know, Apple or whatever, supposedly we're doing that. Um, yeah, I want like a power PC and mid chipset for so that you can just run in a Hyper-V like without emulation. An analog refugee. That makes sense. How old are you? What does that matter? No, it actually probably doesn't matter. I was just wondering if you had a taste of the original, the back in the good old days of the uh, analog phones and stuff. But you couldn't really do anything with those that much either. Like you couldn't. I mean, I know we like to pretend that Apple and, you know, the personal computer was invented and whatever, but like they ran DOS, MS DOS, Apple did at the beginning because there was no choices. It was all, you know, from the beginning. Um, you could make like cool phones to a point, but also it was very limited. Um, the coding part, um, yeah, but you can do that with just having a tape recorder next to your phone. Um, but a good way to do it, you know, would have the line go through there. But I think so. I'm thinking about this. I wonder. I don't know. You might be screwed. What I mean is that there might not be any if you don't want to code, because code is a thing. Coding is definitely let you have some control over some things. What is it? So what we need to do is I've joined your cause. What we need to do is find something that people haven't done yet. You'd have to invent something new, like power armor or something. You might be able to do like, speaking of cars, you probably could do some interesting car stuff, but it's still, you know, you're still using like a AMD CPU or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely, and you have limited choices of the materials because and each day the monopoly grows, you know, and so that there's less choices of what you can do. Like you used to be able to buy those little circuit board things where you'd plug in stuff and build your own little thing. You still can. There's that flipper thing. You should get one of those flipper things and fool around with that. Um, and there's that other thing, Raspberry Pi thing. You can mess around with that. Once again, though, you're using someone else's gear. You can probably mess around with Raspberry Pi and work out your own little thing. Have you ever watched Mr. Robot? So this looks like, I don't remember what this amount used things do. Yeah, so there are some options, but yeah, robots, maybe build robots. If you're into the hands-on stuff. Count used. Oh, okay, no, this is different. Used. Count used. Count used. I've been staring at this trying to see if there's any differences, and there are. Code violates. When I fell in love with technology, I saw physical stuff on a PCB. Yeah, that's that I saw transistors. So with that type of stuff, you could still do it. There's probably see, we have all sorts of stuff we had to add in here. People into that. You can, you know, shortwave radio and stuff. Subtract Okay, so this we don't have to do that, but what is this faction goods? Where is it getting this dictionary? Where is it creating this dictionary? Because we seem to be using... We seem to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could go to a country where there's less technology. I don't know how healthy that would be. Copy. So yeah, where's this dictionary coming from? Is this a dictionary that I created and it was dragging shit in there? So those are created by code. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't have an error before. Wars is inaccessible due to... You said this wasn't in use. You said this wasn't in use, so I took it out of it. I put it on private. You said it wasn't in use, computer. Have you thought about going to school? Like, in some sort of electrical engineering thing? Like, sort of more hands-on. Can't afford it? No 2 years, no AA? Associates? What does AA stand for? I think we need to let this run for a day here. Well, there's the days have passed. This still isn't updating itself, but that's fine. I don't know where this dictionary is. I don't remember. I mean, it's obviously in faction data but where is this thing getting created? We must do it in faction generation or something. Oh, like you don't want to do it online? Yeah, I totally understand that. Online is not that good for many people. I think if I was to take a class again, which I don't ever plan to, but if I was, I would definitely want because you need like a person to help you when you have questions, not like a person that you can never get to. Maybe they have that out there, but create factions good dictionaries. So what does this thing do? Okay, so this just goes through and creates it all. So we don't need to worry about that. These are just added in there if it goes through the list. And so we have this, we just added this thing into this goods list. So it goes through, and if it's not a faction good. So let's double check, though, that we got raw materials and the correct shit, and we do. Remnants substitutable is no. And then... let's see. There's probably, there's a lot of old technology floating around out there that things are still ran on. I wonder if you can like get a job, like an apprenticeship or something like that, doing that to learn how to fix and maintain that shit. You don't want to work on obsolete shit? Yeah. That's, I don't know. You've cut out a hard genre, a hard thing to do. Yeah, so that's gonna be hard to find. Like I was saying earlier, I always want to live in a castle or in space, and I just had to give up on it. Sometimes you just got to give up on those dreams and work on something else. That's possible. I know that's a horrible thing to hear, but um, that might be, you just got to give up on your dreams. I don't really mean that, but yeah, uh, it's. I wonder if you could. I wonder if you could start. So I had a Lyft driver once who worked at a chip manufacturing place, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, why is he driving Lyft if he works at a chip manufacturing place? Um, they would do these big runs of chips, and then they would be off for like a month, and then they would do these other big runs of chips. I wonder if you could start like a chip manufacturing in your garage. I know this sounds crazy, but because it's got to be like ultra sterile and like whatever. But I wonder if you could do that and like make your own. They would suck at the beginning, of course. But you could, so he was telling me about it while he was driving me around, that they manufactured very specific chips for certain things. I don't think it was the military or something else. But you can buy this stuff. It was really expensive though. That's the problem. You can steal the stuff. No. But yeah, it was some, you might be able to make your own chips. Like I said, they would suck at the beginning, but you could work from that. I wonder why I have these ones off to the side. There's a reason for this, but I can't remember. Oh, because there's not multiple of them. Okay, so that's fine. Faction level goods, we were just doing these ones. Update labels. What do we got in here? So we need to add in this new label. It was called raw materials here. Right there. And they also used to have like these things. Yeah, you used to be able to buy them, like these little chip things. I wonder if you could do that too. Like it was like a chip printing press, sort of. Once again, they were not very good, but you could start with that. You'd have to learn how to code though. There's no way around that. Because all of that stuff is coded to some point. You know what I mean? Like if you get a blank chip, it doesn't do anything until you can connect I don't know even what they use for that. Yeah, it would be decades obsolete probably. Well, that would be the first round. You'd have to keep going. You know what I mean? You'd have to keep updating each one. Okay, so we do that. And then this is going to be a similar thing. I don't know why this is above this. So we need to copy this. And then we need to change this to raw materials amount used once again. Then we want raw material. Code just feels like, yeah. So that's the problem. Even if you, let's say you miraculously made a chip, you're still gonna have to code it somehow, because the chip doesn't know what to do until you tell it. So like the Raspberry Pi and all that, I think it's the flipper thing that also allows you to enter. Maybe not. Flipper device. Flipper 0. This allows you to do like digital hacking. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it allows you to interact. No, maybe it does. I don't know. Learn how to upload a rubber ducky script to a PC to emulate a keyboard that sends commands. There's all sorts of shit in there. All right, so we got that thing. What else we got to go through here? Count all. We already did the countings. let's just double check. Raw materials, count all used materials is going to be all used materials, raw materials. And then, so we did those. Update labels with faction amount. We just did this. Raw materials. My music stopped. It stopped on the song that I dislike. A Digivice is a Digivice. I don't know what the Digivice is. Digivices. So then, what else are we updating here? County level goods. Oh, okay, so we do this again, but we're doing it in a different way here. Raw material. And then we have some county faction resource type. Okay, so this just checks that. So we don't need to, I don't think we need to do this. I don't know what any of these emojis mean. Where are we at? What were we doing here? I accidentally opened something and went away. I think we're running out of time. I gotta hurt. Diplomacy. What is diplomacy? Of faction generation, faction data. Okay. Raw materials, text. So that one, we got to do this one. Whoa. And this one's going to be raw materials. No, it's not. I mean, it's going to be similar to that. Raw. Okay. Yeah, what do you do now for a living? If you do anything, you don't have to tell me. Don't feel required. Let's see. So those are, I think that's everything. But I'm very much. I don't think I'm trying to push the main. Maybe we'll push the main. You don't do anything. I wish I could not do anything. Maybe you should stream and try to get other people to join in your the same thing. All right, that didn't work. But we didn't get any bugs, which is strange. So it should have, that this numbers should be overwritten when it runs. So there's something not updating. I wonder if I have like an array or something in this top bar. We put those in there. I don't see an, wait, what's this? Nope. I don't see an array in here. Raw materials. When we run this, does it give us any information? Scared of being cringe? When I'm cringe, I feel like I'm broadcasting, hey, look at me, I'm defective. Now so there's definitely that with streaming, like the feeling of, hey, look at me, especially because you're competing against a bunch of other people who are also saying, hey, look at me. But there is something, if you're going to try to find like-minded people, the streaming gives you the ability to at least have you out there to the highest number of people. I mean, you could go in person to places, but you're never going to hit like, there's people dropping in and out of, viewing you all the time. Obviously, so it's like a numbers game. Obviously, what am I talking though? I have like 12 followers or whatever. All right, what are we forgetting here? Do I have any notes in the README? Open. README. About faction goods. I don't have any faction good. So this one, it should be, let's look at this code once again, because we're obviously forgetting something here. On ready, it updates the top bar. Update influence labels, update used influence, and then it's going to hit this one first. And so then it count all of the faction data. We have that. Go back. Can I go back? And then we go all of the used. We have that. Go back. Update labels. I just put this label in here. We definitely don't have 1,000 of them. Maybe you could write and post. I've posted some stories on Medium, and they actually got a few views. Maybe you can try that. I'm trying to think. So I'm wondering if this. We just looked at that though. It should be. I'm still wondering why this isn't. I'm wondering if this dictionary isn't correct. So when we're changing this stuff, maybe this is the wrong number. Maybe it's the wrong label. Amount used label. Remnants number. Wait, remnants? Well, this is the wrong thing, but it should have been this other. Remnants. Raw, but it should have still been, it should have been the remnants number. So it should have been this number. Right? Medium's kind of weird. It has a weird login where there's no password. It emails you every time, which makes me not want to use it. Oh. So that worked. 3. Do we have 3 raw materials? We should only have 1 raw material. We're just going to double check that there's not like fish or something isn't put on a raw material. Glass? No, glass is a raw material. So that's 1. Iron's 2. What was this? Paper? Is paper a raw material? Not really. I mean, maybe we're saying that right now. It should be something else. We need some other category. We'll leave it at, so that's 3. Raw materials is a raw material. Okay, so those are all right. We need to change. This is just dawned on me that we need to change how this works. But let's close this. So 30. And then let's look at our goods here. All right, so that actually worked. We're not going to be able to push the main, but we can push our standard code to our thing right here. Let's push this. We always have new files. We got to go fixed top bar. And what else the fuck did we do? Yeah, you're in quite a conundrum there. I feel for you because I can understand back to the living in space things. I really thought we were going to, you know, this is 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I really thought we were going to have something going there. The world would, but in reality, it's like nothing has changed in 35 years. There's the International Space Station, like literally nothing's changed. It's gotten worse. There's less technology. See, and I also was thinking that I would help pioneer that stuff. So I was like thinking that when I was in like 15 to 25, and I still told people like I wanted to live in space, but my dreams kept getting less. So basically what I was thinking is that I could get a job or start in my garage or whatever. I was thinking that I could help pioneer some sort of private space industry, but it turns out that that's like I said, we're at this point we're going backwards in space technology. There's less. There's no shuttles. There's no what the fuck are those things called? Like what are the planes? Space planes? The rockets we have fucking suck. We don't even have a space program really. Back then they were, after the shuttle program died, they were using like Russian rockets, and you could hire, like, you could purchase Russian lift capabilities. Like the whole thing's dog shit. And it's kind of, and public opinion is kind of turned away from space. Like, why are we helping? Wanting to go to space. I always half jokingly say that I want to start like a nonprofit that just is called like Earth Sucks, and we would try to get money to get off the planet. But like I said, public opinion has really changed on space exploration too. Like, it used to be, I feel like everyone I talked to, if they had an opinion on space, they'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go to Mars. And now they're just like, why would anyone want to go to Mars? Yeah, see, I assume there was going to be a lot more advancements in rocketry or something, some alternative, because there's other ways to get to space. You want to get away from the rat race? Yeah. So this would be it would be a different rat race. It'd be, but it would be a better one, I think. So we fixed the top bar. And what was the thing we did at the beginning? I already closed the ticket, I think. The issue. There was another issue up here. It didn't take very long. Oh, and use remnants for construction. We're going to commit and push this shit. Frontier with different rules. Well, we would still have the physics rules, but the rules of physics. But I think, like, so back to your thing, in space, I obviously it'd be highly technological, but there would also be a need for like mechanics that it wouldn't. I think they would want to keep it simpler. Like, you don't want a complex system in space. You wish there was more developments in local home AV, like audio video? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like that shit. Remember they were like 3D TVs for like 15 minutes there. Everyone was, oh my God, have you gotten a 3D TV? And now that shit's gone. No one cares. It's just bigger, flatter, curved. No, they're curved now. There's Joker. He's got a curved monitor. All right. What are we looking at here? Okay, wood. I was going to say. We push that. Let's find somebody to raid. Let's go over here. Close all that stuff. Not this. All right, so I'm starting a new thing where I keep a list of the people I've raided so that I can know the last time I raided them. So let's go take a look here. Let's see who's Created by Critters, The Real Book Lover, Monglo. I feel like I rated all those guys recently, like very recently. Let's find somebody new. You want to emulate CRT? I feel like those don't look as good. What do we got? We got to do let's do search for category, or not category, tag Godot. And let's see if we can find a C# person here. I feel like the C# guys don't. Oh, here's a C#. Oh, that's Monglo. Maybe we just rate him. I feel like I just rated him like last weekend. This person's playing Project Zomboid. What does that have to do with Godot? It was Project Zomboid made in Godot. This person's doing a game jam. Rushing to finish his game jam. Maybe we should raid that guy. He's using Godot. I don't know if it's C#. He doesn't have his face on there. I like it when people have their faces on their streams. Snow Drama is doing something. He's a C# Godot person. Let's do this. He's only got one viewer. Let's do it. Morning Coffee. He's got his face on there too. You hate LCD. I'd only use OLED, but it's too expensive. Yeah, this shit is expensive. All of it, like the monitors I have on my gaming computer were so expensive. Like they're like $1,000 each or something. But I'm going to take off. Thank you guys for joining me. Commodore, good talking with you. You should drop in again. We can discuss more of the absolute destruction of our dreams and how, before I go, actually, I went on this date with this chick off like OkCupid years ago, and she was pretty awesome, but we got in this argument. It wasn't an argument. It was a discussion. We got in this discussion about heroes, which I know it seems like a strange thing to discuss, but like, what is a hero, right? Like, who's a hero in real life? And the hero, like, so I was saying, like, heroes are people who have discovered new things, have lived through trauma, like gotten Nobel Prizes or whatever, like accomplished something with their lives, right? That's a hero. And what she was saying was she didn't agree with that at all. She was saying that what a hero is the people who are just 9 to 5 living their life and not killing themselves. The average man as a human, who can survive the mundanity is were the heroes. And I was just like, no, that can't be that way. But no, she was very adamant that is what a hero is. So I mean, I guess getting through life makes you a hero. Like, maybe that's true. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I always forget to click this, and then I gotta wait. Like, I have to sit here. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next weekend. Maybe I'll stream this week, but I don't think so. but it'll be next week. So have a good life and a good existence, and I'll see you next week. Bye.